I'm here today with Liz Heineke, a scientist who has recently written a book called Kitchen Science Lab for Kids. And actually, Liz, I've been a fan of yours for a while. I've been kind of following your website, all of these great ideas you have for science with kids, so I was thrilled to see a book come out.
Super exciting.
So how actually did you get started with all of this?
Well, before I had kids, I worked in a science research lab for 10 years, and I studied microbiology, and I did stuff like cloning DNA and lots of fun stuff. But when I stayed home with my 3 kids, I wanted to introduce them to science. So we started doing Science Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, we would go to the Science Museum, or do science at our kitchen table, or go on a caterpillar hunt. And I started blogging about it. So that's how my website sort of got started.
That's awesome. And so then you thought, hey, I've got enough content, like let's write a book?
Yeah, the publisher actually found my website and contacted me, and they said we'd love to do a science book as part of our Hands-on Family series.
The book is amazing.
I'm going to teach you guys the science song before we get started, because I always make all the kids I teach sing this so they can remember the 3 major kinds of science, which are physics, biology, and chemistry. So repeat after me. Are you ready? Physics.
Physics.
Biology.
Biology.
Chemistry.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Physics.
Physics.
Biology.
Biology.
Chemistry.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! You guys are awesome. Okay, so we are going to start by doing a chemistry and biology experiment.
All in one?
All in one. Most of my experiments start with things you have around the house, but for this you actually need to go to the grocery store and get, do you guys know what this is?
A cabbage.
What color is it?
Purple.
Why do you think it's purple? Can you guys say pigment?
Pigment.
Pigments are molecules that give things color, right? Like our eyes and our hair and our skin. Okay, so this is purple because the pigment in it looks purple when it's not in an acid or a base, when it's at a neutral pH. Can you guys say neutral?
Neutral.
So if you take this and have an adult help you chop it up, boil it in water, and strain out the cabbage pieces, you are left with this stinky, amazing purple juice. And it's
very
purple
pretty
because water has a neutral pH. So I'm going to give each of you a cup of this cabbage juice. Now this is really special. Can you say acid-base indicator?
Acid-base indicator.
You guys are awesome. Okay, this is an acid-base indicator, and all that means is that it changes color depending on whether you put it in an acid or a base. We're going to test some common kitchen chemicals to see whether they're acids or bases. Who has ever baked cookies?
What's a base? I always bake cookies with my mom.
A base is a chemical with a high pH, and bases usually taste kind of bitter. You don't want to eat most of them, but they taste kind of bitter.
Like a lemon?
Lemons are acids. So we're going to actually test some lemons, some vinegar, some baking soda to see whether they're acids or bases. And the color changes. This pigment, if you put it in an acid or base, it actually changes shape. And it absorbs light differently, and that's why it looks different. So I'm going to have each of you, to one of your cups of cabbage juice, add a big giant spoonful of baking soda to that, and then stir it up. Here, you want to go first? Dump that in your baking soda and stir it up. You do it. And when you're doing science with kids, it's important to let them do the measuring and do the stirring.
Gosh.
What happened?
It turns
Okay, you do it.
bluish, whatever it is.
Yeah, the pigment, the molecule's changing shape because. Can you guys say Can you say sodium bicarbonate?
Sodium bicarbonate.
That is the chemical name for baking soda, and baking soda is a base, and bases make cabbage juice turn blue. Now, if you add an acid to cabbage juice, it will actually turn pink or red. We're going to test another kitchen chemical to see whether it's an acid or a base. So you guys have vinegar in these 2 cups, and I want you to pour all of that vinegar into your other cup of cabbage juice to see whether it turns blue or pink. And remember, it turns pink in an acid and blue in a base. All right, so do you guys know what a chemical reaction is?
Yeah.
What do you think it is? You go first.
It's like chemistry when you make 2 things together to make something new.
That's exactly what it is. Is that what you were going to say?
A little bit different, but basically the same idea.
That's exactly what happens. So what do you think the new thing you make is when you mix together baking soda and vinegar? What new thing might you make? Can you guys say carbon dioxide?
Carbon dioxide, that's what we breathe.
Yes. Well, we exhale carbon dioxide. We breathe it in the air. You're right. We breathe it. It's in the atmosphere. we are going to do this chemical reaction that makes carbon dioxide gas bubbles. So I want each of you to pick up your cup of vinegar. Can you say acetic acid?
Acetic acid.
That's the chemical name for vinegar. Okay. On the count of 3, pour your vinegar into your base. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and pour it in.
Exploding.
What kind of bubbles are those? Do you remember?
Carbon dioxide
Yes,
bubbles.
carbon dioxide gas. And feel your cup. Does it feel warm or cold? Cold. Lots of times when chemical reactions happen, you can feel temperature changes. And in this case, can you guys say endothermic reaction?
Endothermic reaction.
They feel cold. You did an endothermic chemical reaction. You guys are awesome. What happened to the carbon dioxide gas when it came out of this reaction? Where did it go?
Exploded.
It went out.
Volcano.
It went out into the air, right? What if you trapped that gas in a balloon? What would happen?
I think it would like float.
Okay, I'm gonna have Happy help you guys.
I call yellow.
She is going to hold open the balloon, and I am too. And this is kind of messy, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold open the balloon, and then we are going to add, and can you guys do this? Can you add baking soda, 2 big spoonfuls of baking soda at least, into the balloon. It's kind of hard. Don't worry if you spill. I'm gonna grab the vinegar.
You got it? You got it?
All right.
This is really messy.
Now while they're doing that, can you help me pour this vinegar into the bottom of this bottle? Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Ella. All right.
So in our balloon, in our bottles, these are just empty soda bottles, we are putting some vinegar.
That smells like.
Okay, we'll just do it with one balloon. You guys can both do it. So you need to put on your goggles for this. Who wants the blue goggles? Do you want yellow?
Oh, I wanted the real one.
I will give you some goggles too. Let me feel how much baking soda is in there. That's pretty good. All right. So what we are going to do, do you need a test tube to do a science experiment?
Not always.
No, this bottle is our test tube. We're going to do our reaction in here. So what we're going to do, we don't want the reaction to start quite yet, but we are going to put our balloon over the mouth of the bottle. And then on the count of 3, you guys are going to shake this baking soda down into the vinegar. And do you remember what kind of gas we're going to make?
Carbon dioxide.
Yeah?
Oh,
Okay.
that's heavy. That's
So
Kind of
shake,
heavy. Okay,
lift
so
up the balloon.
lift up the balloon. We're going to start our reaction. Both of you shake it down. Shake all that baking soda down in there. What's happening? Oh, I think there's even a little more. What happened?
What's happening is it's getting crazy in here.
It's trapping the carbon dioxide gas, isn't it?
I hope it doesn't blow up.
My kids and I did it once, and it blew way up to the ceiling. That's why we put on safety goggles when we do this experiment.
Liz, this has been amazing. It's so fun. What do you guys think? Did you learn some new things today?
Yes, it's so cool.
And honestly, just as a recap, I mean, we used cabbage, we used baking soda, we used vinegar, and
Bottles.
Bottles. So
So
easy
much
to do
fun.
at your own house, and such a great lesson and great reaction. Thank you so much for being with us.
Awesome. And chemistry. So repeat after me. Are you ready? That was really bad. Physics.
Physics.
Biology.
Biology.
I'm totally playing it in the wrong key. I'm totally flustered. Okay, ready? Physics.
Physics.
Biology.
Biology.